Hey, everybody who's here early, welcome. Double checking that you can hear me. I'm seeing the little indications. Yeah. Thank you. Jane. Beautiful. And yeah, I'm trying not to Kool-Aid in on top of you again, Mal. Sorry for that last week.
I actually thought that was hilarious, to be honest.
Well, for everybody who's here early, that was the second time I did that. The first time was at a company meeting. I had this really great new mic, and it was the cool nano mic, and some reason it thought it could be my speaker. I accidentally tweaked it when I was trying to move real fast to set it up, and so I couldn't hear anybody, and I stomped right over somebody who was talking in the full company meeting. And then again, just a few days later, did it right here on the AMA. So nah, I think I've got that fixed. Although the AMA was a bug. Twitter had a bug because I could not hear Mal, but I could hear everybody else.
Likely story. Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to the AMA. Great to see all of you with us. I'm seeing Rocket Unit. You know what's weird? Perry Digi Arts. On mobile, it cuts off the names, so you have to click on every single one to see the full list if you're over like 7 characters, which isn't great.
That is pretty annoying. Sorry, I like looking at people's names in Discord, like Frugal B.
I'll have to see Engineered Trade with the Grogu profile picture. Welcome. All right, this one's shaping up to be a fun AMA. Excited to have you all. People do we have? 73, nice. I'm sure a bunch more will trickle in. Hello, Nacho G.
Hey, how's everyone doing?
Red Bear, make it rain.
Hey, Michelle.
Is my mic working? I can never tell on these contraptions.
Yes.
Yay!
I just got new headphones this week, so I'm trying them out.
Oh, nice. Well, it sounds loud to me.
That probably means I'm yelling.
No, sounds good. Yeah,
Oh.
very clear.
Willow's trying to turn you down.
I'm always so loud.
It's just the excitement. It's coming through. It's the energy.
That's what it is. I had too much coffee already today.
Oh, you're one of those people.
Is that better, guys? Am I less yelly now, or am I still yelling?
Sounds pretty good to me, but
Sounds good on my side.
Burgundy says, sound clear. Redwood's pretty loud still. Great.
I'll try to talk quiet. All right. Anyway, let's get this going. Happy Friday, everybody.
We're getting it going.
We got enough people in here? Yeah.
I think so. Let me just tag everyone.
How's everybody's competition towns going? Everybody making red steel? They get all their buffs?
Seeing lots of chatter about buffs.
There was a lot of strategy behind them. It seemed like some people went for the big buff first, and some people went for the small ones first. It was a fun chat to watch.
Yeah, it's. I think it's people are settled between Logger and then Global. I think I've seen, or so most I saw went for Global and then others. But it was interesting to watch the combinations and how long people were speculating, and when they could make it, how many hours, what day, when, which one first, if they did certain things. It was great.
I definitely opened my computer's calculator a few times trying to see how long it would take me to get enough money to do a buff. So that was fun. Let's see what else happened this week. We had the ground silo and the woodshed NFT both this week. The ornament boost was removed on Monday, I believe. So that was sad for some people, but we've got buffs now. So it's all good. We fixed some research center bugs, so a reload won't make them disappear anymore. They don't cross servers, so if you do them on one server, it's not going to affect the other server. It'll only affect a town that you built the research center and gathered the resources in, and not the other towns. And you can remove the building. I see people keep asking me in chat all week. You can definitely remove the research center, and the buff will stay. And that was about it for Townstar live game updates this week.
I got a question. What you guys all think? I saw a lot of notes there in the community about how everything seems slow now. Was that an interesting effect? I love all the memes, by the way. What everybody think on that? Discord, I'm talking about. Not so much. Cool. I'll keep watching. Mysterious is going to do a lot of talking for me today. I've got a little bit of a throat thing going on, so if you hear me being quiet, that's why.
It's dangerous to invite me to talk more. I wonder how many leaks will happen today.
Just let it go. It's going to be fine.
Open the floodgates. Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't fully understand the question either. I don't know, Michelle, if you want to repeat the question.
Oh, apparently, did I break up during the question? People are saying I did. I was just wondering about how people felt after the speed buffs wore off, and now suddenly we're back to where we were before the ornaments.
It was definitely slower. The whole startup of the game for sure took a lot longer than it has been taking since we've kind of been spoiled with the speed boost.
Willow, I died when the speed boosts left.
That's interesting. That was actually a bit of a, having made games before, played games before, I know what happens when you go out of turbo mode, but I honestly wasn't expecting that same feeling. I don't know why, but yeah, it was just an interesting side effect. The game broke since it was going so slow. Wow. Okay. Well, thank goodness. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, it makes me laugh because it was literally like in the time frame, the time frame of Townstar, it was just such a small time with buffs and with the ornaments, and now it's like everyone's acting like they were just permanently there and then taken out. So it's so funny to see how dramatic you all were. And it's been funny to just watch the snail pace of memes and stuff like that.
Good question, LB Postman. Who needs sleep? No, it's fun to see. The game is different things go in, and we had new designs, new exciting ways to play the game. There will be kind of continuous changes, but what's going to be really fun, which I'm really excited about, is with Goodell, we'll be able to make those changes a lot faster and continue to build the game more and more into something really exciting. So I'm getting really excited for that, but fun to see that even, with the live version of Townstar, we're seeing that as well. So it's pretty cool. Speaking, oh no, I don't know. I don't want to steal your thunder, Michelle. I was going to say, speaking of Godot, are we ready
You
to
can
move on to some
transition.
Godot updates? Go, do.
Y'all want an update?
Yes.
We want an update.
All right.
Yeah,
How's my audio?
live?
Am I screaming or is it normal?
No, that's just me.
Okay, awesome. Let's see. I'm going to paste a number into chat. This is the version number that we are testing right now as our release candidate. For those of you who don't know you know, nerdy lingo, release candidate means super, super, well, it's candidate for being released to the public, right? So that's super exciting. Tons and tons of work has gone in. I can't even tell you this past 7.5 months or so how exciting it is to be this close to being able to share the game with people. Yeah, as far as the thanks, one odd gent for that. Okay, so updates. I'll break it into sections like overall activity, gameplay features, bugs, engine notes, nerdy stuff. And maybe somebody, Michelle or somebody, has bug of the week. I think that would be awesome if we did that every week. Talk about like our favorite bug. All software has bugs. Okay, so overall activity, just so y'all have a sense. Imagine whatever you think the Townstar Godot team is, size wise. Imagine all of our all of our hair on fire. We're moving so fast and doing so much good work. In the past week, we've had 233. I like to put numbers on stuff. 233 approved change sets come in. That could be, each one could be anything as simple as like, oh, this skin isn't applied right, or oh, there's, you know, I don't know, a unit isn't picking up wood and they should, to something like, hey, there's a really slow process on the server and I'm going to multi-thread it, and you know that's going to affect how fast our servers go and spin up and accept new players and how much load they can handle. So 233 features, whether that's part of our deployment system or our servers or clients or memory management or whatever, have come in just in the past 7 days. So a ton of work. It's been awesome. And it's so fun to see that a lot of it is like stability related or bug fixes or improvements or things like that. So network reconnect is getting better. I guess I can't dox people, but one of our engineers, you know who you are if you're listening, amazing job on getting the network reconnect. Now, Star 1975 has said 233 change sets. I mean, I guess you could call the fix of a bug a feature, right? But ton of work. So for a glimpse into our process, somebody gets a ticket, they're like, hey, fix this thing or implement this feature or whatever. And then we say, why should we have to do that work? I want to go to the beach. And they're like, because you're paid to do that work. They're like, oh, that's right. So then they reference that ticket in their code, they make their changes and all that. And then when it comes in, that has to go through other devs who didn't touch it, right? This is way before QA or anything. So they do that. The code looks good. We test it locally. We test it in our dev environment before bothering QA. And then it goes out to QA. They test it. Then it looks good. And then it gets all packed up and fancied. And it goes into our pre-release environment we call stage, where everybody gets to play it. And it's just been getting better and better all the time. So back to the details. I'll give you some more numbers. Y'all know sometimes downloading the game, even Townstar Live, it's a lot of assets. It's a lot of files, big pack files coming down. We've reduced the size of our download of our main pack file from 260 megs to 130. So you could say the game will load 50% faster than it did last week, which is awesome. That also meant, this was a little surprising to me, I pulled up the game on my old, I guess this is old in technology land, iPhone 11 Pro Max. I ran it in the Brave browser as a test and got pretty good frame rate. Obviously, you know, the UI, there's still some responsiveness and stuff ahead, but I just want to let you all know that mobile is still a priority. And as we're getting the game stable, good, you know, get all the features in, we're also poking at mobile as well. So that was pretty awesome to see that running so well. Gameplay features, let's see. So, NFTs. I don't know if anybody listening or in chat has ever done this, but sometimes you could place an NFT that you own, and then maybe you give that NFT to your friend or something, and that NFT stays in your town purely by accident. I'm sure some people have done that. Well, no more. So what's going to happen is now your town every 60 seconds or so, yeah, Willow, exactly. Every 60 seconds or so, your NFT inventory will be updated on the client if it's changed at all. So that's in, that looks good. We're using it here for like, somebody has 5 NFTs internally. They're not real ones, they're just test. And then we blow them up and give them 1,000 NFTs and watch their client handle that. So that's been fun to test. Been other improvements like video effects, frame rate improvements, of course, some skin fixes, a couple things on coloring and stuff like that. Let's see, any questions so far? That's been a lot of stuff, and that's about half of my update. Anybody wondering about? I haven't seen any wins. That's a little disappointing. Let's see, give everybody a sec. Tubes. Win, win, win. Okay.
Well, now that you said when, everybody's going to ask when, right?
I'm gonna yeah, I'll just keep going here. Oh, thanks. Okay. All right. So sounds like there's a comment there from Raw. 100 megabyte download sounds like a lot of it runs server side. Yes, a lot of the logic does run server side. So one thing that you'll notice, I'm going to jump ahead in my notes a little bit. This is a little bit nerdy. We've made it so when you're running the client, running in a web browser, of course, everybody probably pops open their JavaScript console while they're surfing the web just to see what's going on. I think that's normal stuff, right? We all just watch it. One thing you'll notice is the logs that you see, like in Townstar Live, when you're watching the logs, what's happening and all that. These are going to be, well, they are now formatted in JSON. And feel free to parse these, look at them, whatever. We're not trying to hide these from you. We want you to make use of it. You'll see things like town saved, inventory updated, server told me I could place that building there, that kind of stuff. So you'll see that on your client probably. We want to leave that in definitely for the playtest. And feel free to parse and profile those. Our QA team is awesome, our devs are awesome, but of course there are going to be some bugs that get past us. Just a quick word about that. Think about, like when you're playing this playtest and stuff, think about how severe is this bug really, to you, maybe to you as a player, or maybe like overall. Like if a guy's picking up wheat from the brine field or whatever, that's not a big deal. Somebody forgot to write wheat. But feel free to report whatever you see. I'm just saying there's a big difference between like the game won't load at all versus like there's a data thing. And we're getting to the point now where almost all of our bugs, I mean, Michelle, SageMaker, everybody correct me if I'm overstating here, but a lot of our bugs are just like, the woodshed does this weird thing when it's full, or this number is a 0, but I know it's not 0, in the UI. So that's just a quick note about bugs. Is anybody in the chat a dev, meaning a hobbyist? You do scripting? I'm always curious who all, I know a couple of you are, but does anybody here like write software or poke at JavaScript or? That's right, Mal. Okay, well, regardless, Godot itself, amazing engine, and it's open source, and we are intentionally pushing the limits of what this engine can do, and it's pretty exciting to see. And as we get near those limits, we're thinking about making some of our possibly, we got to run this through legal and everything, but making sure that the changes we make to the engine we might be able to publish those back to the Godot community at large, which would be awesome to be able to give it out. Wow, thanks, Musashi. These are great. So I can't really go into details, but basically performance, we want our servers and clients to be as performant as possible. This is one of the larger projects on the Godot platform. So let's see. With that said, bug of the week. Anybody have one? Cute bug, scary bug. Nobody. I don't think we have a legendary SK in here, do we?
I didn't see a lot of super crazy bugs this week. I did think it was funny when the farmer was he taking water from the well, but it was actually salt brine, and he was just throwing salt brine on his crops.
Yeah.
That was kind of funny.
Yeah.
I also like the. It's always fun when you get the bugs where it's like, it seems so strange. Like one farmer will take a wood to the woodshed. Another farmer will just go throw theirs on the floor and protest. And so while we were doing company-wide play testing, we kept getting like, my farmers are on strike. So it was like we were dealing with a real life town, and you know, it was pretty fun to see the way people explain what's going on when we have bugs. And then you know, you figure it out, and it's like, oh, that made sense why that was happening. It wasn't too complex of a change, but the experience of it feels like a real town when there are bugs, because it seems like people have more agency in the town than they actually do. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't really talk about my favorite bugs because that would give away some.
Please don't.
That's pretty much it for the update. I tried to keep it a little high level and not go down the list of we fixed this, we fixed that. You know, anything else anybody wants to hear, Godot wise?
Yeah,
Willow,
no, I think that's
have
great.
the leak of all leaks for you. It's such a big leak. I am building a dam to time the leak, but I can't share it today. Sorry, it's literally killing me to not share this, but just gotta wait.
I
Stay
think
on
this is
target.
the one Volcron shared it with me yesterday and said, I don't know how I'm not going to share this leak. So, haha, I know what it is.
Well, let's move on to our next section here then, before it does happen. I think that our next talking point is playtest updates, if we have any.
Yeah, I think it's worth just noting. So, you know, Volcron kind of covered it. Wow, we have hardened the playtest so much. There has been a lot of bug fixing coming in, and the experience of playing the game is just really getting polished for where we want to be right now. Obviously, there's still so much more coming. So with the playtest, you know, one thing that we're doing with these playtests is we're working with our DevOps team. So we want to make sure that it's not just the experience of playing works, but as more and more people join, our servers scale correctly, we don't run out of memory and have everybody fall offline, all sorts of things. And so that playtest will come sometime next week, and we will be doing it where we're doing it in partnership with our DevOps team, so that we can really monitor everything that's going on. So a lot of the things behind the scene that you haven't seen is improving some of our DevOps logging and monitoring, so that we know what's going on, so that we can see if there are any failures anywhere and respond quickly to that. Everybody is just so upset with you, Volcron, for leaking that there will be a future leak. You've broken the chat. But yeah, so playtest update. So thank you for hanging tight. We know this was a competition week, and so there's definitely a part of us that really didn't want to interrupt that and allow you all to continue playtesting. So we're looking to get this playtest out as early as possible next week. Hopefully Monday, we'll see, but as the last things come in. One of the things, though, about obviously playtests and bugs coming in is there are certain things that we want to get fixed, and it's hard to estimate how long it will take to fix something because it was broken in the first place. So we fixed almost everything that we've seen. We're in a really, really good place, but we still have to do one or two more probably playtests just to make sure. So look for an announcement early next week, but we're super excited to get this out to all of you, see you all start playing it, and then get excited about how quickly we can start adding new features, new content after it goes live, just because of how how well this new build was built. So this will be the allow list playtest rocket unit. I don't know if you all saw a super secret allow list out there, or people that have been doing really well in competitions. We want to get it in front of our town node owners. So we'll have the exact list of people before the play test. I think our farmer Michelle might have leaked out a little bit last week, but we will have more info coming soon.
Yeah, we did make an announcement that had the details of who was on the allow list. It was a top 200 from the Boom Games competition and Townstar node owners.
Is there a disallow list? That's called a ban. Fortunately, we haven't had to ban anyone from the new test yet. No, but it's fun. Thanks for the excitement around this. We're really excited. All right, I think that's it for Michelle. I think we can move on to the next thing, unless anybody else has any questions about the Townstar Godot or the play test. Another thing to notice, so the Townstar Godot, I don't know if we shared this yet, but there will be a new icon in the games list for Townstar Godot. We're still working on what that name will eventually be, but as we release it in this beta version, it'll be Townstar Godot. It'll have a really cool new image that One Odd Gents worked on, that I now have as my background for all of our team meetings. So it's pretty cool, but you'll start to see some changes visually, and I'm really excited about those.
Right, before we move on, let me talk about this trade bot quick, since I see people keep asking. As I said last week and the week before, there won't be any trade bot updates until we get onto the new game engine and we get the game launched. We don't want to start getting into, feature creep or anything where we're trying to add more stuff into the game. We just want to get it launched first, and then we'll move on to other features and stuff like adding utility to the trade bot. We've also still got to wait for the platform team to do crafting and all of that, so there's no big rush for that. So it'll be a while. Just be patient. We'll get there. The next thing I have up here on my list is, do we talk about the sale we did this week and how it went, if it went smoother? I definitely thought it went a lot smoother.
The sale improvement, or making sure that stuff we put in there people could find. Yeah, I'll jump in on that a little bit. Past couple of weeks, past couple of Mondays, the sales have not been smooth, just to say it nicely. And while we thought we had the first problem fixed last week, it plus another problem hit this week. Team jumped on it very fast. Everybody who had missed charges on their credit card should have been refunded within less than 24 hours. There was a really strong effort to make sure that got fixed up, and it's unfortunate that caused people problems. But we fixed it, and we're working moving forward. A couple of notes on that. You saw sale go well yesterday, and that was a lot of top IQ and our internal group just looking, watching, walking it through the process, posting the direct link. I heard that worked well for everybody as well. Making sure that the item was at the top of the store, all of those things. So we heard everybody's feedback and everybody's, just the frustration that everybody's feeling, and we made some changes right away. Both cases we did, but like I said, we found some more problems. That's not the end of the changes that we're making. Some of the people saw that while it was all going down, that I raised the note that now I'm in charge of working on the store. And so we'll be working on that more. There's bugs to fix, but there's also just some new functionality that we want to add, make the whole thing easier for everybody to, just access the store, find the cool stuff, for the teams to share cool stuff with everybody, and just kind of get past all of this, I don't know, these kind of old hassles that we've been seeing for a while. So that's the update on that. So thanks guys for the notes. I'm glad the refunds have come through. Redwood, you just won't drop that. I guess I should say something about it. Yeah, we're thinking about a gift for people, just to kind of show our thanks for everybody being patient through this process. The ideas for that are still getting nailed down. You know, of course, as soon as we have the specifics, we'll share it or someone will leak it. But that's coming. That's coming definitely. And it's like I said, we just don't have the details exactly. We've got about 5 or 6 different ideas. But we want to make sure it works right and have just another meeting, make sure all, you know, folks like Mal and Michelle get to chime in to make sure that we're doing it right and well. Yes, stay tuned. So yeah,
And
that's
on
all on the
that,
floor.
just to be patient on that as well, just because I just want to make sure people are aware that isn't spammers every day. We've mentioned that we are thinking and have some various ideas. There is no set idea. This isn't like, oh my God, you said this and this is that. It's we've had some ideas. We're just thinking, and you know, in a couple of weeks or whatever, when we've got something, we'll share something. And how that weighs and what that's for and whatever else, just wait. It will come when there's information.
Good, good, what do you want to call it? Caveating? No, good clarity, Mel. Thank you for that. Yeah, don't bug Mal every day for it. We've got it. It's in the plan. It's on the list. We'll do it. We just don't have the details right now to share with you guys. That's all I've got about that's the store and sale improvements, Michelle.
I think the next thing on my list for us to talk about was the honor system, if we wanted to talk about it at all.
Honor system. Yeah, I'll jump in and talk about this one as well. So some folks were asking over the past few weeks, months, about what are we going to do about honor? And you might have played Spider Tanks and you've seen honor there. Does anybody want to know about that? Maybe. I'm seeing everybody is like, ask Mal, ask Mal. Don't bug Mal. Anybody's got a problem with Mal, right?
Oh, I can already see the pings. It'd be in tomorrow, give it 2 days, and then it'd be like, but you said in the AMA.
Right. All right. Well, here's the note. Hope we never have to hear about honor, but I feel like it is coming regardless, says Shan Ratti. Oh, Spider Tank's honor system is garbage. Wow, there's a lot of people don't like it. Well, here's the reality is that we will not be bringing that type of honor system into Townstar. Economies changes with the economy changes and you know the change to town to Gala. We think there's some other other ways to kind of address what honor was there to do, which is just encourage people to be a positive force in the ecosystem, encourage people to, you know, help grow the ecosystem. And so there's well, that's what we're going to do. So kind of no announcement. We're not going to do it, but we have some other cool ideas. You know, rewards and bonuses and stuff that we can give people. Yeah, honor reborn is maybe a nice way to say it. So we'll be figuring that out. We already have ideas. Part of not doing the current honor system in Spider Tanks is making sure that we have ideas that come from the Townstar team of what we want to do. And yeah, so there's a lot of good news on that front coming soon.
Awesome. Next up on my list here is to talk about the Town Gala swap site.
All right, Town Gala swap site. So again, just want to cover this if there's any new people or people forget what's going on. So we decided for Townstar, we're going to be, you know, we exist in the Gala ecosystem, and instead of distributing Town, we're going to be distributing Gala. So we're going to do a swap from Town to Gala. So every Gala costs 1.25 Town. We're going to enable that in the store, and the plan is for that swap to occur by end of month. We're going to have a more specific date coming out for all of you very soon. I really want to leak this date probably today. We'll see. Leak maybe coming soon, but it's going to be most likely well before the end of the month. So we will have a blog post out for that, and we will be doing the swap, allowing you to do the swap whenever. That swap site's going to be live for a long time, so there's really no reason to do it right away. But it will be, you know, it's an exciting shift from Townstar to continue being part of the Gala ecosystem. So yeah, so Ammo UK definitely by end of month, but it should be coming sooner than that.
Are you sure you don't want to leak the date? We're awfully certain of the date yesterday.
No, I said I want to get the final note from Top Boy Q before I leak the date, unless Top Boy Q is on here.
Top Boy, everybody's looking for him. Where is he?
I don't see the note.
There he says he leaked it for you. Targeting next week, he said.
All right, that's good enough. So targeting next week, definitely a reasonable. So by end of next week, we will have that site live.
Yeah. And just so everybody knows, that date, we feel very strongly about that date, which is why I was a little surprised we weren't ready to leak it yet. But I'm glad we could confirm that.
And as a reminder, that will be open for 180 days, I think, before it gets taken down, so people will have plenty of time to swap.
And the cool thing is we're actually using our store UI to do it, so there won't be a lot of surprising new technology or things that could potentially go wrong. Like this is using our store. It should be a really simple, seamless process. So that's great.
I think the only other questions people continue to have about the swap site is wondering if they'll have to mint their town from their treasure chest to ETH, which the answer is yes.
Yes.
And there will be an ETH fee, I believe.
There will be an ETH fee. Yeah, so you'll have to do the swap on ETH. Just like with everything, in order to use your tokens, you'll need to have them on ETH. But it can all be done in, the mint in a single transaction, and then the conversion in a single transaction, or the swap. Yeah, Rocket Unit, having it come in the Gala store is really great. And it may even bring some new faces into the Gala store that maybe got town on an exchange or a swap site and haven't actually been into Gala to see what's going on and maybe play some Townstar. So we may see some new faces there as well.
We do love new people in the chats. Sorry, I feel like I was yelling.
You weren't. It's fun. Cool.
Let's see,
Any
the
other
next
questions
thing
on the swap site? I don't see anything actually.
No, not that I see.
Nope. All right. Maybe it's over to Musashi.
Yes.
Hey guys, sorry, I was making memes. So let's see. You guys wanted me to talk about precision placement. I don't know how much you guys know at this point. Let me put an image here in Discord. I'll share it so that they can be shared in Twitter too. So yeah, I posted something in Discord. There it is. I don't know if you guys can see it. Oh, this is a mock-up. It's not exactly in game right now, but you guys know that we want to increase the resolution of the game. The old game is 16 by 16. Each building uses one tile, but now we're adding more resolution. So we're actually expanding that to 64 by 64. That Sage has talked a lot about this. Now that we're playtesting a lot internally, we found some things. Sometimes it's difficult to assess where your building is that you're trying to place in relation to the rest of things in your town. So we're adding this grid that will appear when you're trying to place down a building. So you won't normally see this, but when you're trying to place down something, this will appear to help you assess where you're actually putting your buildings, decorations, and so on. This will be very helpful when you can place down decorations or other things that are not 4x4. In this case, they're not using a big tile. And we are differentiating between in the grid lines between big tiles and small tiles, because we know that you guys want to think in terms of 16 by 16, basically the old DSL style. So we're trying to accommodate both old players and hopefully new players that want to make use of the smaller tiles for decorations and for beautying up their town and preparing for a longer term strategy of the forever game. So that's what you're seeing there, us trying to figure out how to improve the UI and the experience of having this increased resolution. There's a little bit of a leak. It's not in the build yet, but it will be soon. Yeah, that's it.
That's awesome. I like the way it looks a lot. I'm super excited to get to test it out, see how it plays. I like that it has the smaller tiles too, because sometimes you do want to place things off grid. You may not always want to use that static 16 by 16 that we're all used to.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna. We're thinking about that for decorations mostly and trying to beauty up things, but it will probably also play a role in new strategies. Now that you can offset your buildings like one small tile, probably some new strategies will arise from that. So I'm really interested in seeing what that looks like.
Me too. Me too. I think we're moving on to leaks. I don't know what we got for leaks. I think that SageMaker had a leak. I think that Mal's got some leaks.
I got a little bit of a leak, a little bit of an art leak. Let me pop some images in there for everybody. First one is, let's see if I get that through. Here we go. Updated windmill, the new style. There's still a little bit more work to do on that. We're gonna fix up the veins on it, make them a little bit more stand out, touch up the color on that. But that's where we're going with that. We're putting these things, these new bits of new pieces and buildings into the game right now. We're checking the lighting, adding a few effects on it, kind of, making sure that we have what I call the recipe for how we want things to look and feel when you look at them in the new engine. And then once we get that locked down, which I hope to be very, very soon, we will then start what I call a mass conversion. We've got an external group that is going to take every one of the bits of art that's currently in Townstar and update it to the new style. And part of that is, and I'll show this next image, is part of that is coming up with a recipe book or the style guide that we hand off to folks, and just wanted to share a little bit of a sample of what that is. For all the long-term players, there's the farmhouse there. You get to see what it used to look like on top of some of the changes that are coming up there. And so, yeah, we spent a lot of time just trying to tweak that, get it looking good, keep it simple, don't go away from the art style. And then I think Tantrum, you raise an excellent point, right? Wait, you say it's better RAM is going to eat better image. Is it going to eat up more RAM and is it going to crush us? Well, that's one of the really key parts that we talk through when we're coming up with this new style. Some of the other styles that the people were promoting or proposing had way more polygons and way deeper textures. And having done this kind of thing before, I realized, especially as we're going to be expanding the size of the board, we don't want to create performance problems by creating art that's so complex it just eats up all, not just RAM, but performance. And so we're trying to thread that needle to keep it as simple as possible. For performance reasons, but also keep it very simple and straightforward, because when we start our art content pipeline going, we want to be able to make them very quickly and easily. We want the artists to be able to, generate enough art quickly to just give to everybody in the community. So that's the process there. But yeah, better graphics, but not too deep or too complex. We're trying to just keep it simple and keep it in the same style too. And that's all they've got there for art. But wait, Musashi, I think, might have a leak.
You're talking about
It's not
the
gonna get-
certain bird?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me
I'm like, what? Oh, you
Leak.
wanted me to leak those? Oh, I could share those. I'll share those. Sorry, I thought
I'm
you were going
sorry?
to do it.
The
I
images, no,
could share them.
I was just about to, I just saw them.
Go ahead. Perfect. Go for it.
Yeah, so that's probably one of the first NFTs that you'll see in the new engine once the game is out. I don't know if you want to say something about it or just leave the images there and walk away.
That would be very Volcron of you. Hey, here's a leak. But guess what it is?
I
I think
think that if they don't know, it will be interesting to see what they think it does. So maybe we can let it stew for a bit.
yeah, well, actually, maybe we can ask people right now. What do you guys think? First off, do you like that like the art there on the card? And then what do you think that means? I mean, it's all there if you know the kind of story or what that word means, what the title means. I mean,
That is so good.
Hey, Willow, I make the
Well
memes
put.
here.
It's amazing.
infinite money, Moise. Interesting. I think you're kind of getting the idea of what Golden Goose does there.
But not infinite money, just to be clear.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
not what we don't want them speculating now, do we, Sage?
That's
That would
true.
be
The voice of reason. The voice of reason. Thank you, Mal, from saving me from, Kool-Aiding and putting my foot in my mouth. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right. We know I was
I love
true.
when Mal comes in as the voice of reason. This is great. You're really crushing it today, SageMaker.
He is. I think, Musashi, I like your idea there. I think there's enough information in that image, in that set of images, for people to kind of get a good idea what it is. And why don't we just save the details for next week?
Sure. Yep.
Okay.
I agree.
No, not foie gras. Not foie gras. No. A hard no on the foie gras. I think that's all. That's all the art kind of leaks we have, I think.
I have some leaks if everyone else is done.
Please.
Go for it.
Okay, 1 second. So I'll just speak first of all before I press it, because it always makes me chuckle out Discord. This is why I try and be a voice of reason. Let's have a story time on this. Just like before, I posted in the gold leaks if no one's seen it. I took a random scene out of a video that me and one odd gent who you'll see in the chat, known as Todd. He and I, for some time now, in our sort of more free time, have been trying to put together a lore video, because obviously I'm quite passionate about lore, and I'd like us to try and have some sort of more life to the characters and story, and that lead to various types of gameplay and features and just fun aspects on that side. Not for everyone, but some people do enjoy the art side. I shared a boxing facility illustration, I think yesterday or the day before. Knew that I was going to tag Postman straight away, because it's really nice, that type of stuff, the sort of art version of the game and the story and why everyone maybe is the way they are. So on that note, I shared a Jimmy thing, as we all know, and I've been kind of just leaking little hints for some time now. But then it went off on the speculation route, which is why I started trying to be a voice of reason, because everyone just seems to pick the worst thing it could be, not the most exciting or fun thing. They will just lean into the wildest, worst way to break the game and then assume we do that. So, on that note, what I'm sharing and did share is based around lore and Jimmy lore. But what I will just say now, first of all, is that when we're on the discussion of Jimmy and Timmy and whatever else, people consider most people have never even seen Jimmy or used one or whatever. It's just kind of funny how many people seem to have this strong image of Jimmy. But I've said, and I'll say it again, it's not going to be old Jimmy. So what your friend told you, what you heard, what you've seen or think, it's not that, okay? It's not old Jimmy. I find that it's becoming incredibly hard to separate solo and guild recently in text form, so I will try verbally. It's quite simple. In games, you can have solo and multiplayer because there are two types of players. Well, you can have people who enjoy both and some who just want to do team and some who just want to do solo. And I appreciate that there are a lot of solo players who, as we were saying before, like, anything other than solo shouldn't exist. And it's not really the right attitude because there are guilds and there are people who want to play as a community and do sorts of team events and whatever else. And I think it's important that we do support that. And we've talked about guilds before. And so, yes, a concept like Jimmy of how guilds would operate together. But what I think people get really confused about is that a guild competition, if you're a solo player, you wouldn't just go and enter a guild competition. It's, I see some replies, well, what, I'm a solo player, what if the rewards are better there? Well, I don't get that. It's just like being a team player and the rewards being better in the solo. Like, if they don't want to play solo, then they're not going to. But it's the idea of this whole rewards semantic behavior. I just don't understand it. And I want to try and speak with you more on this subject because we do plan on doing social. It's a big thing we've mentioned, and I think we want to support it. But the idea that you're just going to be playing Townstar and Jimmy's in now, and that's it. You've now got to go out and find teams. I would just ask the people stop saying it because we've said now multiple times that isn't happening. It would be a literal separate server, game mode, guild, team. It would be something you as a team player would go and seek out if you wanted. It's not forced. So I don't know if I can make that any clearer. The only thing I can suggest is maybe look at other games that have existed. It's not brand new, the idea of having a solo mode and a team mode. If it's unfamiliar to you, it's, quite common. But in Townstar, we don't have it. We just have solo. More people want a sort of team aspect, a social aspect, and then, go on from there. So no Jimmy or Timmy just popping up. And you place it now, you need 30 towns because there's no map. So Jimmy can't work the same way. It's a different game, different engines, but Jimmy cannot be the same. I don't know how to be any more clearer. So I hope people enjoy the lore that we're posting now around Jimmy because it's more around the character, which is what I'm going to share and leak some now. But in future, when you see Jimmy stuff and art and whatever, it's likely based around the lore. But if Jimmy does appear, it's not going to be this monstrous thing that you have all come to believe from the legends and tales of Jimmy. So, and if, just for one thing for my own clarity, Jimmy needed fixing when he was in. It was easier to take Jimmy out than to try and deal with making Jimmy fit in the game when there's solo and team. So we wouldn't do it because it doesn't make sense. It wasn't fun. And I'm going to stop talking and share 4, I believe, random scenes that I've taken from the amazing video that me and one odd agent are working on. And they're very random scenes. They're just like snapshots, you would say. So, just try and visualize what might be going on. I have named the files, quite leaky, just as a point of note. So there's a lot more of these scenes. As I say, this is the lore side. So Jimmy's got some sort of character. And it's funny because he does have these tall tales of legends that make you all go crazy in the chat. And that's why he's a great character to do lore around, what happened to him. So, yeah, I hope everyone enjoys that. I believe I have other leaks because there's a sale. And then we will need to discuss around the research center changes or just the thinking. But has anyone else got anything to say before I just trample over?
I don't have anything else to say, Mal.
Keep them coming.
Okay. So, first of all, let me just drop this in. It got leaked yesterday. It seems to be a thing of getting my leaks rumbled. So I will share this again for those who missed. But this is the Valentine stand, which we will get to in a moment. There's a little video of what it'll be. Spin them round in all its glory. I absolutely was So happy with this, how this turned out. It's wonderful. Big fat strawberry. Gotta love it. Of course, what does a big fat strawberry do? Probably gives passive strawberries. It spins, it's wonderful, and it gives 5 passive strawberries because it's a legendary NFT. And that is going to be a 5 radius for it. Now, I know people always like to know the future aspects and what's already in. You know, you got sangria, magic powder, chocolate strawberries, there's red steel in, there's jam. You know, strawberry ice cream, I think, is the most obvious one of the ones that will be coming. Red steel will be, of course, eventually added in permanently once we move engine. For now, it was just being funny with blue steel and swapping it round. So strawberries have definitely got some future, as well as other things, you know. There's just dyeing things is a great, if you want red, strawberries are just a great one for them. So just lots of future for strawberries, but already they're in. Now, why are strawberries annoying? Why are people happy for a strawberry storage? Because they clog them up. That's why people want them. Because when putting strawberries in, I always love the idea that they would just be that annoying thing, like I did with the beehive content, in a sense of balance. Yeah, I've got too many, too little. It's just, it grows really quickly. You know, they're just one of those. Always clogged willow says exactly. So passive strawberries can just relieve the burden, you know? So I don't know. Oh, yes, I'll go on to what I was thinking anyway around the research centre, and then we'll continue to talk about the passive strawberries. So the research centre to watch everyone has been outstanding. I've honestly, just the amount of extra chatter in what would have normally been everyone done and dusted and going on their 3-4 day holiday before they return is now more of a strategy game with that long-term, mid-term strategies and all the changes and the additional changes after and the planning, and that's, of course, amazing. Last AMA, I mentioned that I had a dream. In that dream, there was a meta in a meta, and it was good. We were all happy and going to get through it together. That's what happened in the dream, and it's going to happen right now, because I thought we do want more metas within metas, eventually within metas, because it's a strategy game, and that way things like utility is even more useful, more commonly in, you know, because at the moment some metas can be very just this type of utility and that type of utility, whereas obviously there's so much cyber utility, you want to just sort of use it all as and when, and it's nice to sort of feel like everything's getting its go. And I recently pitched to you, Sage, a new competition mode that I was thinking. You know, I haven't leaked it to them, but
Well, if
let's
you're
just
thinking about it, you know, as long as you're thinking.
Oh, I mean, I could.
Go for it. Go for it.
All right, I'll try my best to explain it, and likely have to deal with a whole weekend of, but you've just said this and this means. So everyone, before that starts, I'm just thinking. And if there's any things that need thinking extra, they will be thinking extra. So do not panic. And of course, I do love the feedback. So how do I explain this? So currently, Townstar, to get points, you make crafts and sell them. And you get cash and points. And I was thinking, you know, making a new game mode. I want more game modes. I want different types of competitions. We've said it before, and it's like, what are the ones that really play into how Townstar is first, right? They're the ones you want to get right. The ones that like almost similar, but it changes something that just all the strategies not flipped on its head. You know how to play the game exactly. The rules have just changed, similar to a meta, but on a more game mode level, let's just say. So in my mind, I've thought of, it'll be basically a portal in your town, right? So this portal would be placed, and it's kind of like a trade unit without the gas and whatnot, in the sense of this portal needs cash, and in return for cash, you will get points, stars, right? Nothing else would give stars, nothing at all. It'd all be around money. So you'd need to just get money and exchange it in the portal for stars. but there'd be exchange rates in a sense of like 100k stars might just be, let's just say, equal to 100k points. Mysterious, your microphone is so loud.
Sorry, I think I was rubbing it on something on my end.
Okay. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, so no, I've totally forgot what I was saying. I always do this of a breaking chain of thought. Yeah, so the portal, there'd be an exchange rate, let's say 100,000 in cash, in-game cash is 100,000 stars. But if you were to do something like 1 million cash, you would get like 1,000,005 stars. So the idea is if you spend more money, you get more points, but like have it a bit more dynamic and fun in the sense of a cooldown, or maybe it's cash and some ingredients to get the better exchange rate rather than just hard cash. So it wouldn't be just that simple. As I say, it's still in the thinking process, and I don't want to butcher it while I explain it, because there's a lot of strategy extra that is being thought of. So let's just say if you wanted the 1,000,005 points, you'd do sort of 1 million in cash and maybe some lumber or whatever, and or you know, strawberries, for example. Maybe you need 25, 30 strawberries. And the idea is you basically go into this portal. There would be, say, 4, let's just say, options of what type of point packs, or you could, no, I don't like the word pack for it, but like point options that you can just sort of exchange in different rates, and it's based on cash and crafts that you're exchanging sort of in that manner. But you've still got to use your, the trade truck to sell and create goods and whatever else in the town to generate the cash to do this. So the extra layer on top of that is some, well, you'd have the basic level where you could get to with your gasoline and whatever else, but then it'd start costing you points to build things. So a lot of things would cost points to buy. So it wouldn't be, so you're now trading your cash in to get stars, your points. But if you want to build things as well, like a nuke, let's just say, would be an incredible amount. It'd be a costly amount. So you sort of make those sacrifices in the sense of how much of your stars do you want to keep versus build your town up. Now, before all the balance crazies pop up, yes, there would be thinking and how it makes sense. Yes, it would be possible for a new person to come in and get to a point to make cash, to start getting enough stars to place things down. That, of course, very normal, but just think of the strategy aspect for now, because this is just the higher level that I'm giving you, not the intricate details. So the higher level aspect is you go to the store, you know, you build up for cash how you normally would now, but then it's kind of like most of the important things you would need to sort of do real good cash and get to that point becomes a lot of stars. So if you're just going to pop a building down, you might want to think about it. If it's costing you a lot of stars, maybe a couple of hours of, you know, stars have been taken away to put this building down, and you're like, this is not where I want it or whatever. You're going to think a little bit more carefully. It also really reinforces something I want to discuss that happened today in the chat. People mentioning certain building NFTs don't give that full placement benefit in a sense of owning one versus just getting it in game. And I was trying to explain that because I can look a bit more forward, it's difficult for me. Because I agree, I don't like just being one of those people that say, trust me. I really don't like that. I would rather just show you. And I'm glad to actually share this because that's the type of thing I'm thinking. I believe it was around fabric, the legendary fabric plants, for example. You know, what happens if one of those costs a lot of stars? You know, you've kind of got those to place down and save in that manner. And the idea is, you know, it's a constant cat and mouse between stars and cash. And the sense of the ingredients, but just that other layer. Now, I haven't looked at the chat to see if anyone has said anything. Yeah, it looks like it's just normal game chat, so I'll probably stop speaking now, but that was just a little thinking in terms of a game mode, and so we could just mix it up so it wasn't your standard way of just selling cash and getting the stars. That way you'd sort of exchange them in, make decisions based on what you think's best on your hourly rate, and what you can produce and what you think's worth putting down. And of course wouldn't be like incredibly like insane in the sense of like you need whole, you know, if you could still do like people now with a fairly casual, it's a simple concept. You sell things, you buy cash, you want things, you just build your stars up differently is all. Will it be a bit more slower? It goes up and down. It just allows some Willow just on the berry stand. The berry stand. It's not a berry. Makes me laugh when people say the berry stand because I can only call it a strawberry in my mind, not a berry. but I guess I know where you're coming from. The Valentine's stand, because we like to name things correctly. I'll go back to that then, since no one cares for my random game mode, which I thought would have been amazing for giving utility, that additional utility benefit from NFTs. But since Willow doesn't want to know any more about that and doesn't give a damn about any of the future stuff that's coming, we'll go straight back to the Valentine stand, which I should have probably just mentioned the price earlier, just switched right over, get you all waiting. But okay, so the Valentine stand is going to be, I said in chat last night once it was leaked, that there would be more of them than the usual legendary. We've done 400, so there'll be 400 of these versus the usual, sort of like 200 type of limit for the legendary. There'll be $300 each with a transaction limit of 2. Okay, I know there's all this chatter going on about things, but it's 2. There's 400 supply, it's $300. 5 passive strawberries is in the sense of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in a radius, as we know most passive functions. Have I missed anything else? Oh, yes. Does it need a road? Yes, it will, but it doesn't give any shade or data or anything silly like that. You can just plop that down around and where. Obviously, the road is the road. This is a thing around stands. I am obviously investigating how I feel about just all stands having no road based on the whole wheat stand, sugarcane, so on with stands. But for now, it's got a road, but it'll be under investigation with the other stands as we move to Godot. So have I missed anything, I wonder? I feel like I've missed something. No, maybe not. But if there's any questions, of course, let me know. This is a legendary Valentine's stand. It's 400, $300, credit card, town, and Gala. Let me just actually double check. I believe that we wouldn't have changed. Yeah, no, Gala, town, and credit card is correct. And I don't think I have any more leaks. The research center ingredients, that was the last one. So I feel like they were a bit too easy. I'm thinking of lowering the cash in exchange for making the ingredients a little bit more. So I want to play around with it. As I said, this has been a great test. It's been very good to see how people act, which ones aren't really popular, which ones people would rather, the ones, people really want and don't. So I want to sort of look at those, and the actual meta isn't going to change. No changes to the red steel meta. The changes would be in the research center, likely around the ingredients, but I am not ruling out maybe changing one or so buff for something else and see how that plays in. But the red steel meta, no change. Or you can practice as soon as competition ends. You can start practicing in that sense and tweaking there. But the global buff will likely be the same percentages and whatnot, but the price would probably go a bit cheaper, and we'll start looking at metas in metas. Maybe we do metas in metas in metas. We don't know yet, but there'll be at least meta in a meta, and we'll see how that plays out. I am so torn on which one to do. I don't think it should be easy, personally. I feel like the smaller ones should be more of an option, unless you're going to work a little bit harder than just saving up cash. So we'll see how it goes, and we'll see what we think. And the AMA's ran over far too long, so someone stop me now.
All right, that's it from Mal then. Does anyone else have any other questions or anything before we call it a day?
As always,
Looking
just want
like
to say thank you to
no.
everyone for being here. You all are awesome. We're so excited to get this playtest into your hands and start releasing new builds and continue the adventure of Townstar. So we're super excited on the team, but hope you all are as well.
All right, I think that's it then. Goodbye, everybody. Have a good weekend. Good luck at the rest of your competitions. I'll be seeing you in Discord.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for coming.
Thanks so much, you all.
Bye.
The